All right, what's going on, you guys? Nick here with Nick Strength and Pokemon, and today things got a little bit more interesting with the Logan Paul Mayweather Charizard that he wore to the ring on that fight. That card getting almost as much attention as the fight itself. The BGS 10 first edition base set Charizard. Everybody's talking about it in the Pokemon community. Where did he get it? How did he get a 10? Did it come from Gary King Pokemon? Did it come from one of his past box breaks? Well, Gary posted another video today weighing in a little bit more on the situation, and this video was very interesting because he added a couple of different layers to the story. He didn't tell everything. He keeps alluding to how there's more to the story and it's going to come out soon, but one thing that he did say that I found very interesting was the amount of money that he offered Logan after the fight. In fact, I think he said today, for that card. He specifically says, and I'm going to play a clip from the video here, I offered Logan more than he thought the card was worth. So let's go ahead and hear what Gary has to say about how much he was willing to pay for Logan's BGS 10. As you guys might know, Gary has the other two of these BGS Charizards. There's only 3 in the world. Logan has 1, Gary has 2, and now he wants that third one. Let's hear what Gary has to say here.
And so, so I've been busy with messages along with tons and tons and tons having to do with Logan Paul and this doggone, Charizard. So the little bit I have to add today, I don't mind adding this. Of course, Logan is, he follows me. He'll probably see this, and hopefully he doesn't mind my making it public. But I offered him a very good sum of money, for his BGS 10 Charizard last night. I offered him a very good sum of money. Last night, a little bit more than what he announced and thought that it would be worth. In that,
so that's the specific thing I want to refer to here, because Logan thinks it's worth quite a bit. To Logan, he said it's worth about $1 million. Let's take a look at the Impulsive that they uploaded today, talking about that specific card. And Logan, again, repeats what he said at the press conference at the fight. This is $1 million card to Logan.
Pokemon card around my neck that is $1 million card. Like I said this, like it's $1 million card.
That's a flex.
There's only 3 in the world. The chain was your idea. The diamond chain, which cost $40,000 for a custom-made chain to fit a fucking BGS 10, a Beckett.
So there you have it. Logan values the card at $1 million and $40,000 for the diamond-crusted chain, which I think is pretty cool as well. And Gary says he offered Logan more than that, and this was last night. So Gary made him another offer today for even more than $1 million. So let's hear what Gary had to say about that. I believe the number, he accidentally says the number towards the end. I think he says 1.5 million. And Logan even replied and said, I wouldn't give you this Charizard in exchange for your other 2 of the other BGS 10. So that just goes to show you how valuable this card is to Logan. And he may be right. This might be $1 million card because of the kind of the pop culture relevance that it's going to have. When people look back at this Mayweather-Logan fight, they're going to see the Charizard. I mean, he made it part of history here, which is kind of cool.
In my opinion, it's worth more than that to me. So, anyway, he brushed it off last night. Today, I offered him more than that. Again, I don't want to give the total amount, because if someday it ends up being, being worth, I don't want to go into that. But anyway, I offered him, quite a bit more than what he was expecting. And he told me, I could even show you the text, if I was motivated to. He said, "We'll never sell, brother." BROTHA. "We'll never sell, brother." And then he said, "I wouldn't even trade this card for 2 of yours." Now,
so that's interesting. Now let me try to find the part where he says what he slips and kind of says the 1.5 million, even though he says he doesn't really want to give that away, but he kind of does in the video.
And I won't do it tomorrow. It's not a matter of money. As long as I can afford to pay my bills, I can afford to keep that. What am I going to do? Keep that in my bank vault, in my bank box, or keep 1.5 million in my bank box, right? I mean, what difference does it make?
So there you have it. 1.5 million is what I believe Gary offered Logan for the Charizard. Logan says no, which theoretically makes Logan's Charizard the most valuable Charizard card in the world, the most valuable, arguably, Pokemon card in the world. Who knows what the true value is? We know that someone was willing to pay over $1 million, between $1 million and 1.5. That's more than that card has ever sold for in the history of that card. So Logan, this is big Pokemon news. He's got the most valuable Charizard card that's ever existed. And like Gary says in this video, will probably go down in history and become more valuable because now it's a part of pop culture. I mean, this was part of the Mayweather fight. So down the line, it's probably only going to get more valuable. And Logan has done already tremendous things to increase the value and interest in the hobby. And this is just one more thing that I think historically is going to make Pokemon even more valuable down the line. There were two parts to this video that I found interesting. The first part was the offer that Gary made for Logan's Charizard. The second part was diving more into this theory on where Logan got the card and Gary's involvement in that process, which Gary still kind of lets that remain a mystery, but he's now made two videos on this topic, and you could argue maybe it's because he has the other two BGS Zards and he wants the third one for his collection, but I think the reason is he had something to do with how Logan obtained it. Now, the reason why I say that is because earlier in the video, Gary addresses Pichu Collector. Now, Pichu Collector is the guy that put forth the theory, essentially, that Logan's Charizard that graded a BGS 10 is the same Charizard that he bought from Gary a while ago, the PSA 10 first edition base set, that he cross-graded to Beckett. Now, even deeper than that, Pichu also goes on to say that in a video with Leonhardt, let's see, from 2020, January 27th, 2020, Gary did this video with Leonhardt where Gary was trying to cross-grade his PSA Zards into Beckett 10s. So the main theory here is that the Charizard that was sold to Logan Paul was the same Charizard that was in this video, cross-graded or attempted to be cross-graded with BGS. And the first time, BGS did not accept it as a 10. So the big controversy or the big mystery here is if Logan submitted the same card, then how did it come back a 10 for Logan but didn't come back a 10 for Gary? And they go on, in Pichu's post, he shows pictures of side-by-sides. Let's see here. It's side-by-side here. So this is Gary's on the left, or Gary's on the right and the BGS on the left. And they're showing the similarities in the hollow foil pattern, excuse me. Kind of trying to prove that it's the same card. Now, Gary says something interesting in his video. He specifically addresses Pichu Collector, who put forth this theory, and Gary's talking about all the videos and articles that have been written on the topic, and he says the most accurate and the best one that he's seen so far was done by Pichu Collector. So let's have a listen to that.
A lot of the stuff I've been reading, a lot of the videos that people have been making are just loaded with false information. You know, just loaded with, at least those who are supposing things are getting a lot of things wrong. Now, those who are investigating, you know, I think Pichu, is a Pichu Collector? I think he did a pretty good job on his, where he just simply, you know, tried to follow the facts. You know, like, you know, these politicians say today, you know, they're going to follow the facts. But I think in Pichu's case, you know, I think he did a pretty good job in doing that. In a few others, but then some are guessworking.
So the only one that Gary kind of co-signs is Pichu Collector, and that's the biggest theory that I've seen, and that's the theory that I like the best as far as probability of what happened. But Gary also, he goes on to talk about the Leonhardt collab, and he talks about the cards that he sent over, and he's like, one or two of those I think deserved a Beckett 10. He says there was a little white spot or little speck that may have caused it not to get a 10, and that's why it didn't. And I think maybe those cards that he was referring to, one of those cards was the card that he sold to Logan, and he thinks back then it should have been a 10, and now that it is, it's not that big of a deal. Let me try to find that segment for you guys here.
You know, at least 15 or 20, you know, would have crossed over because they were, you know, just excellent ones, the very, very best ones. And might there have been a little white speck? Yeah, there might have been a little white speck, you know, but that's.
So the little speck he's referring to also confirms more parts of Pichu's theory. They show where the cards graded and why they didn't grade a 10 or why they didn't cross over with Beckett. And one of the reasons was one little white speck. There's something in the middle and something on the right. They're talking about a little speck on the card, and that's one of the reasons why it didn't come back a 10. So Gary's kind of confirming parts of this story. He's talking about the Leonhardt part. He's talking about the crossover part. And I think it further confirms Pichu Collector's story. And like I said, Gary keeps kind of implying that there's more to this story that's going to come out. He just can't release it. Logan said in his video that he's going to be releasing more about it as well in an upcoming video. Let me actually show you guys that.
Pokemon's a flex. I'm proud of that card. I swear to God, ever since I got it graded a 10, my life has been on a meteoric rise. We've been talking about momentum. Momentum. The most powerful force in the universe.
You said you. What do you want to talk about? How you got that graded, or
no? I mean, I'm going to. I have a YouTube video. That's
Okay.
like, yeah.
I commented you harness the power.
So he's got a YouTube video coming. So he's getting back into the Pokemon thing on YouTube to some extent. Does that mean there's another box break coming? Does that mean, he's got how many boxes? 6 of these boxes. He's done 2 box breaks so far. Does this mean he's doing another deep dive into Pokemon because he's got a YouTube video coming about the Charizard? What does this all mean? So I want to know what you guys think in the comment section below. Where do you think Logan got this card? Do you think he graded it himself? Do you think it was the card that he crossed over from Gary? Was it the card that he got from Gary? Do you think he's going to do another box break anytime soon? Why do you think the card didn't get a 10 for Gary but got a 10 for Logan, if that is the same card, allegedly? Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Give the video a thumbs up if you did, in fact, enjoy it. Subscribe to the channel if you have not subscribed yet already. As always, I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. Nick Strength and Pokemon, signing out.